Hello everyone, myself Pawan Suravanshi and today's date is 9th September. Today we will discuss about the difference between JDK, JRE and JVM. We will first take a overview about the what is the JDK, JRE and JVM. The first thing is JDK. The JDK is a Java development kit and which contains the JRE and the JVM. Then the JRE is a Java runtime environment that provides the runtime environment to the code. The next thing is JVM. JVM is a Java virtual machine where the code exists and the code runs and it performs. We will discuss about the briefly for these three things. First one is JDK. Let's talk about that. If you are a developer, in that case if you are interested in a Java program, you need to download the JDK, because if you want to write some codes in that, we have to download the JDK, and in that we will able to write the codes. For it's the purpose of JDK. It's JDK contains the tools that JRE and the JVM. The major part is the JDK, which contains these things. JDK is that much only. In the market there are many tools that provides the Java language where we practice the code, but JDK is one of that, and will in the JDK that also contains the compiler and interpreter. That compiler compiles the data at once and shows the errors, but the interpreter is that compiles the code at line by line and executes. In the interpreter that reduces the time, but in compiler case it's some complexities in the code where it doesn't able to understand the code as much as clearly, and it takes some extra time. The next thing is about the JRE. JRE is the when the compiler compiles the code and it converts into the bytecode. In that case, the JRE contains the bytecode. But JRE means the code he will execute in the JVM only. But before that, if you are executing some code, some file, but that code needs some external access. Some external files are correlated with the file. In that case, we need the JRE. JRE means it contains the JVM and the libraries also. The JVM libraries also contains the JRE. In that case, JRE provides the runtime environment. Runtime environment means it provides some support to execute the code. It environment is like provides some external files, external access. Now next thing is about the JVM. JVM is a Java virtual machine. Java virtual machine means JVM is a space where the code actually works. The JVM is an internal part in that first of all is JDK. JDK contains the JRE and JVM. In that next is JVM, JRE. In that JRE contains the JVM plus JVM's libraries. In the JVM, it has some its class loaders, memory access, and the stack heap areas, native methods, and virtual engine, Java virtual engine. In that, the class loaders are that loads the classes, and it has the memory spaces and the stacks, and the stacks which stores the variable values, and the heap areas which stores the object. And the Java virtual machine has also contains some native method. Native method means in which we are run like that. Consider the code is running. In that case, we need some external access or external something information that is stored in another programming language like C and C++. In that case, the native method is like as work as a bridge. It takes the it access the libraries that contains in the C++ and provides the information to this running code. And the thing is that the next thing is the JVM. In JVM has some Java virtual engines and the memory space also. The conclusion is that the JDK contains the JRE and JVM. The JDK is a software that we need to develop a code, and the next thing is JRE, which provides the runtime environment to the code. First is JDK and next is JRE. JRE also contains the JVM. The third thing comes the JVM. Why we need the JVM means if we has the code, we have to convert. We have to some space to run the code. In that case, the JVM is necessary. These three parts also necessary. The thing is that when we use the JDK, in that case, and majorly all the softwares in which we develop the code of Java, In the all softwares, the JVM Java virtual machines are inbuilt only. That is separate part which default and that's a default part where it's directly included in the JDK. These are the some major differences. If you want to develop a code, in that case we need the JDK. We have to download it and we have to access it. We have to learn how we have to download the modified version which directly access to the JRE and JVM. When we download the updated version of JDK, in that case we will find the JRE and JVM in itself in updated versions. Thank you.